15,000 hours. We spend 15,000 hours in the education system. Just to compare, to read the entire Bible will take you about 44 hours. You can get your pilot license at only 40 hours. And according to studies, to develop a new skill will take you only 20 hours. So what are we doing in the education system for so many hours? To answer it, I talked with students. I asked them to send me a picture of what they're doing during the lesson. Want to see what they sent me? Creative, right? Doodles. Doodles on notebooks, on their hands, even on tables. Why do you think they're doodling during the lesson? Do they have no respect to their teachers? No, they're just bored. They're bored because they can do so much more than just sitting like that. Nobody is supposed to sit for so many hours and just listen. You guys are sitting here today less than 3 hours. And I can promise you there is not even one person in the audience, and I looked at you, I was there. There is not even one person who hasn't drifted off to his smartphone. I know I can't sit for so many hours. Actually, one of the pictures here is from my notebook. So let's take a closer look at it. Has anyone who can't read Hebrew want to guess what I wrote here? Boring, 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 boring. That's how I used to feel entire pages in class. I don't know why you guys laughing, it's sad. That's how I used to feel really entire pages. And when I was really, really bored, I literally counted the minutes until the end of the lesson, marked every minute that passed until the break. Still, it said, don't, okay. One day when I looked at it, I understood that every minute that I marked here will never come back to me. And that scared me. That scared me because I know I can do so much more. And you know what? I wanted to do more. I wanted to do big things, to influence other people. I even wanted to learn, but to learn for real, not just for good grades. So I decided to drop out of high school. But unfortunately, my parents and my dad that sits here in the audience didn't really like this idea. They said I have to finish 12 years of schooling, and only then I can choose what to do with my life. I didn't understand. Why do I need to wait 12 years? I already live now. Mentally, I quit school, but I still had to go there every day. And I felt like every day that goes, I become more and more sad. I got into depression. Even my friends left me. Every day when I came back from school, I cried to my mom and told her that I hate school, that I can't go there anymore, that it feels like jail for me. And she tried to cheer me up. But it never worked. I was always sad. But one day, when I came home and cried to her, instead of cheering me up, she started to cry too. And when I saw my mom crying, it was the first time I understood I'm hurting someone else. Because when you're depressed, you don't see other people. You see yourself and what hurts you. But when I saw my mom crying, I knew that I have to make a change. I just didn't know how. So I turned to my favorite teacher, Google, and asked him how to change my life. He sent me many psychologists who tried to sell me their services, many Tony Robbins videos, and of course, many TED Talks. But there was one video that inspired me the most. It was a video about a person who changed his life by asking himself, how would a person that I would like to be do the things I'm about to do? That inspired me. I copied it to my notebook, and I decided to use it. The next day when I came to school, I opened my notebook and asked myself that question. In the video, it looked super easy. It was an 8-minute video, and this person in the video changed his life. But when I asked myself this question, there was a problem. I had no idea what kind of person I want to become. And you know, after over 10 years in the education system, I knew so many things. I knew to solve very difficult equations. I knew the causes to the French Revolution. I even knew how to draw a marker that looks real on my notebook. But I didn't know what kind of person I want to be. No one never asked me that. So I had two options. Option one, go back home, keep crying, thinking how stupid I am, that I thought an 8-minute video can actually change my life. But the second option was to think what kind of person I want to be. And I chose the second one. So I was sitting there in school thinking what kind of person I want to be. And I had nothing specific in my mind. So I had to ask myself more questions. I asked myself how I want people around me feel. Do I want them to be sad, like I made my mom feel? Or do I want them to be happy? What makes me feel happy? What do I want to experience in my life? And I think the most important question I ask myself is if I had the power to change one thing in the world, what would it be? And if you listen carefully enough, you know the answer. The education system. I hated it. At that day, I decided I'm going to change the education system. And now that I have a better vision of what kind of person I want to be, I could ask myself again, how would this person do the things I'm about to do? So I made a list of things I think should be changed in schools. For example, they should teach us real-life skills like time management, money management, things we're going to deal in the day-to-day life. I also wrote that they need to let us free time to learn what we actually find interesting. When I finished this list, I thought what this person that changed the education system do, and I understood that he would probably do something in his own high school. So that's what I did. I set up a student council in my school and started to make a difference there. Then I was elected to the regional student council, and from there to the national student council. My high school education looks completely different from the doodles you looked in the beginning. By the end of school, I already set up my own project, and I learned so many things. I learned how to make hard decisions, how to trust myself, how to manage my time. I learned how to become the person I want to be, and much, much more. I graduated from high school 5 years ago, and I don't remember how to solve difficult equations. Believe me, I don't remember the causes to the French Revolution, but I will never forget the person I want to be. I keep asking myself every day how the person I want to be do the things I'm about to do. And that led me to publish my book, The Lessons You Won't Learn in School, that contains all the lessons I wish I learned in school, like how to be happy, how to find your passion, how to develop good habits, how to deal with failure, and much, much more. 3 months ago, the Israeli Minister of Education called me after reading my book. She loved it and wanted to meet. When we met, I showed her the program I wrote, Learn for Life, lessons plans of real-life skills. Some teachers are already using it today, and I hope that one day it will be part of the curriculum. But you know, let's face it, to change the education system will take time. You don't need to wait. Not 1 more hour, definitely not more 15,000 hours. You can change your own education. So students, next time when you find yourself bored in class, instead of just doodling in your notebook, try to ask yourself 4 questions. How do you want people around you to feel? What makes you feel happy? What do you want to experience in your life? And if you had the power to change one thing in the world, what would it be? After you will answer it, you will have a vision of the person you want to become. And when you have that, you can always ask yourself that question. And when you have this vision, you'll get the right answers. And it doesn't matter if it's Beyoncé, if it's the best gamer in the world, or if it's just the best version of yourself. As long as you have a picture in mind, you'll get the best answer, not from Google, not from your teachers, from yourself. So, we spend 15,000 hours in the education system. Let's make the best out of it. Thank you.